Hello, world. Thank you for joining the Relocate Podcast. This is Kerristen, your new favorite podcast girly. And today I have with us a true Southern Belle. She is from the great state of Alabama, Mobile, Alabama to be exact. I don't know why I said it like that, but Mobile, Alabama. Um, she is a travel nurse, and like I said, she's been living in Austin. Actually, she lives in Cedar Park. I don't know why I said it like that. My girl
Dang.
live in Cedar Park, but hey, that's close enough to Austin. It's like close enough because I live in, technically my address is in Austin, but if I take a few steps, I'm in Cedar Park. So there's that. And we live only like 5 minutes away from each other. So also there's that.
Exactly.
Yeah. But she definitely gonna have a lot to say about what it's like to live in Austin, amongst other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between, because this is an all-inclusive podcast. Jamie Grace Taylor, yay!
Oh, what's up? Hi.
How's your day going? How you
What
feeling?
can I unpack? Is this a safe place?
Ooh, you know what? This is a safe place, girl. Like I said, safe for everybody. No matter where you come from, all walks of life, no matter how you feeling. This is a safe place. So let's do it.
Say it wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad day. It wasn't a bad day at all. I don't know why I said it like that. Um, I usually got a lot on your mind, but it's not a bad day. We don't claim bad days.
I like that perspective.
Yeah, but my day's been good. I went to work and I was fighting for my life for 3 o'clock. I couldn't wait for 3 p.m. I was like, oh my God, I want to be off. But now that I'm off, I feel good. And I had me a little drink.
Da-na-na-na-na-na. Ayy.
Not James Brown.
Yes, and no bad days because there is power in the tongue.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
No bad days.
No bad days. All right. So, told the world a little bit about you being a travel nurse, but was there anything that I missed out on?
I'm a travel nurse. I am someone who's trying to get into, well, I am a photographer. I am trying to get into cinematography. Um, trying to I'm creative. I'm a creative. That's one thing that I want to be attached to my name. Not that I feel like you know that, but like yeah, I think that's something that I'm really trying to branch out into. Being more like how you have all the ideas in your head and then you see other people do it. And I'm like, oh my God. But that's been on my mind since the 11th grade. Like, why haven't I done it? So now I am in the space and in a time where it's now or never. So, yeah, that's the only thing we missed.
Well, girl, it's a good thing we live in Austin. This is a creative city. So, city
No,
for
facts.
creatives indeed. Do you, yeah, these ideas you got in your head, do you write them down?
Yes. I
Okay.
write down, girl. I mean, I started. I feel like SpongeBob when he wrote on the page, the
A win is a win.
a win is a win. Now
A
I
win
I
is a
be
win.
doing it. Yes, I'm a writer. I like to write stuff out. I don't think I like typing very much.
And it's all good because sometimes you build more of your muscle memory on things when you write them down.
That's what I learned in nurse school real quick. I'm a tactile learner. I got no what is it? Is it kinese? Yeah, yeah. No. I feel like I'm saying the wrong word wrong. I can't think of it. Kinesthetic. Yes, I'm a kinesthetic learner, so I have to write it out in order for me to remember it.
Girl, me too. That's exactly how I made it through grade school. And yeah, that's exactly how I made it through. That's how I
Hmm.
retained memory. That's how I made good grades. And
Yes.
that's what's getting me through my job now because transitioning to tech, I'm learning so much and it's crazy. If I don't take everything I'm learning and write it down, it will go through like one ear, not the other. Can't
Right.
understand, no comprende. Need to write it down. Yeah.
No, same.
Yeah, girl. Okay, well, let's get into it. I'm excited to talk about Mobile, Alabama, girl.
Oh,
So let's get into it. I mean, how was it like growing up in Alabama or Mobile, Alabama? Gotta say the whole thing.
hated it. Hated it. um, for me, in my experience, it just feels like it's a very dark cloud there. It's a very crab in the bucket mentality amongst not even just amongst blacks, but yeah, that. I was bullied all through grade school. Like, I was like, what is the problem? Like, am I the drama for real? And sometimes you can be. I do take accountability for some things that I've done. But like, even like, my mom thought it was weird for me to experience that because I was from there. My mom's from California, so she didn't understand why I was experiencing it because I was from there. She experienced it because people didn't know her. You know, when you go to an unfamiliar place and you're in a smaller city where mostly everybody know each other, they grew up around each other. Of course, they're gonna look at you a certain type of way. But like me, I grew up there a little bit. So I actually, me and my mom moved back and forth to Oakland, California a lot. That's where she's from. So I automatically did not like living there because I wanted to be in California because it's nothing there. We don't even have an Apple store.
In 2024, there's no Apple Store out in Mobile. Isn't it? Wait, Mobile is one of the major cities in Alabama, right?
Yeah, we used to be the biggest. Now
Yeah.
I want to say it's Birmingham, Huntsville, Montgomery, then Mobile last. They don't want to urbanize it. Me and my dad talk about that all the time because they want old money to stay in charge. Like, we were supposed to surpass. First of all, Disney World was originally supposed to be in Mobile, where our
That is the
mom was.
funnest fact I ever heard in a
That
long
that
time.
that and Mardi Gras originated in Mobile and not New Orleans. New Orleans may be bigger, but Mardi Gras originated in Mobile, Alabama, baby. Now that is a tidbit. Hmm.
That is on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
If I'm lying, I'm flying. The Lord can strike me down now.
That's how you know you from the South, girl.
I'm screaming, yeah, girl. No, we Mardi Gras originated from Mobile, and if you tell anybody that from New Orleans, they have a fucking heart attack. But they know it. Yeah, they shit better. Quote unquote. It just depends what you're looking for. Um, if you want if you want a 28 piece thrown at you, you might even get a pack of chips, a variety chips, some oatmeal cream pie. Um, you might even get a bag of Funyuns. You go to Mobile. You might even get some Jordans and some clothes. You go to Mobile. But if you want to go to New Orleans and you get some little thongs and can't nobody wear that say New Orleans Mardi Gras 2024 and some bees and a little bit of alcohol, then yeah, go to New Orleans. But Mobile, you go for the food. Hmm.
Like the cream corn that you was clowning me on because you remember when we were at Terry Black's? You told me I wasn't. South Carolina's not the South because we don't eat. Because my family never cooked cream corn. That's what you said, girl.
They never cooked
Ain't never
cream.
had no. Yeah, we ain't never. My mama cooked
That's why you
corn,
ain't
but not the
understand. But I
creamy
mean,
kind.
Cream corn not usually that sweet. I will give you that. No. My daddy made cream corn real good, and it ain't never taste that sweet. The corn gives it a natural sweetness, but like we use a roux, like with the flour, the water, and stuff like that, and that has more like a gravy texture to it, and then the corn makes it sweet. But like there's the Terry Blacks is like super sweet, abnormal
Yeah.
sweet, but
It
it's
was
good.
given diabetes.
Oh my god, yeah, that was so good. That was very delicious and nutritious.
Okay.
We should go back.
We should. We should. So I'm learning so much about Mobile. I think I've been there once, and that was to get gas. I used to drive. I used to drive from Houston to Charleston and back like a dummy. And I was
How far is that?
that was maybe if you stop and get gas and there's no inclement weather, you can probably get there in 17 hours. Yeah, that was back when I loved road tripping, but Alabama used to scare me, girl. I
Don't you
stopped.
gotta drive through? You gotta drive through Mississippi, ma'am. Mississippi don't scare you, but Alabama do.
No, Mississippi scares me too. Mississippi and Alabama,
I'm
they
more
both
scared of
scare me.
Mississippi than I am Alabama. Because I mean, at least I know. But I've been in some parts of Alabama where I'm like, want to be here. I don't know how I made it through some stuff. I don't know. Like I used to be traveling and road tripping, and back in the day, GPS would take you around the world if you would. I mean, it still do. If you ain't too careful, it'll take your ass around the world. And I remember pulling up to this gas station. They only had 3 pumps, but I had to because I was like, where else am I gonna get gas? And I remember going inside to get me a little snack, and I was like, oh my god, the white men were looking at me crazy. I ended up getting pulled over, and they searched my whole car, and like they had no reasons to search my car. I wasn't speeding or anything. Actually, I was speeding. I was very much so speeding, but I was trying to get the fuck because it was like how they had the rows and rows of corn, and that's all you can see on each side. Oh my god! I remember calling my grandma with boohoo crying because I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get home. Like I didn't know where I was, and my GPS. I didn't I didn't have no music or anything, but my GPS was just still going, so I didn't want to touch it off. But it kept seeming like the hours was not going down; they were getting longer, and I'm just like, oh my god, where am I?
Um, yeah, if we're on the subject of sundown towns, um, Mississippi scares me more in that aspect. Alabama, I think about that, but Alabama scares me more. It more so scares me because I've been in spots with there's no service. I don't like that. And then my commute through Alabama is longer than it was in Mississippi.
Oh yeah, Alabama, you got to get through longer. Did you have to pass through Birmingham too? You got to pass through Montgomery and Birmingham,
Yeah, I
and
was
then
not a
did you go
fan.
through Georgia?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mm.
passing through like getting on 20, I-20 to get yeah.
Yeah, because I've been to South Carolina before. I wish I knew what area that was. I just remember the guy that I dated. He went to Claflin, but
Mm.
I don't remember what part of South Carolina he lived in. But I remember driving up that way.
Yeah. Okay. We're not going to unpack that, but I do want to talk more about yeah, we're not going to unpack that. Um can we go back to the bully piece? Because
Mm-hmm.
I hate that happened to you, and I don't condone bullying of any kind. But well, there ain't no buts. What I want to get to is kind of understanding, growing up. I know that's probably one reason you hated being in Alabama, and just kind of like not having that sense of community, even though you kind of grew up there. You probably were in a community where a lot of people look like you, but
Yes
why
and no.
exactly were they bullying?
Say it well. Okay, so I went to this daycare. Like my mom always apologizes to me because my sister, she's 16 and I'm 28. And my mom was more financially stable with her. And so she was able to put her in better environments, as far as daycare and after child care for school and stuff go. But I remember this one time, I went to this daycare in my neighborhood where my dad lives still. It's considered the ghetto, the hood, whatever. But my dad always said we live in the house. We don't live outside the house. And that was true. Um, so I went to the daycare up the street from my house, not too far. It's called Tomerville Warren. It was a church daycare. And I remember it was this one girl that I used to play with at church, and I hadn't seen her in a while. And I was like, oh my God. Like, I was so excited. Like, hey, how are you? And then I was like, do you remember me? And she was like, hey, doing all that. Girl, don't nobody remember you like that. I mean, we played one. Thinking to myself, what did I do? We was cool last time. I mean, I'm missing the big disconnect here. I'm just like, huh? And I remember it just starting from that moment that I realized I used to think to myself, when I went to places, or I went to a lot of schools. So I was like, who's not gonna like me? Instead of walking in a room and me thinking like, oh, like being confident. I mean, not that I was always confident. Nobody could ever tell that I felt any type of way. Even when I tell people, they be like, I would have never guessed that about you. I would have never thought that about you. You act like you didn't care, but I cared. I did. But I would walk in the rooms and just think, okay, who's not gonna like me? And I could tell who I just could tell off rip, like, okay, these people not gonna like me. I just would know, like, to the point, like my best friend from high school, Destiny, that's still my best friend. When she came to my graduation from college, she cried. She was like, Jamie, you got all the friends you always wanted. You finally realized it's not you. And so, yeah, that's when I be like, God, I don't know what you got planned for me where I have to be under this type of scrutiny, whatever job or whatever position that I'm going to be in later in life. I'm going to be under a lot of like opinions, but I can't let it bother me. That's the only logic I can give it, because my mom was like, she didn't understand that for me either. She was like, everybody love you. All the adults, everybody know I got a certain type of personality on me. So it was weird to her to even hear like, why are they bullying you? I just don't know. I can't tell you. I mean, some instances I don't think I deserve to be bullied, but I think that if one or two people didn't like me because of isolated situation, I would understand. I wouldn't like me either. I'm not perfect. I've done things for people not to like me, but it would be the majority. Eighth grade, I ain't do nothing. I had went to this one ghetto school. This was my first all black school because most of the schools I went to were majority white. So my first all black school was when I went to move in with my dad. I went to Callaway Smith. It was downtown, and I remember I fought on the second or third day of school. Just like they just was like, who you think you are? Who you think you is? You think you oh, your hair done? You wearing AirPods? You think you doing something? I was just like, I don't think anything. I don't know. I have no idea why I was bullied. I have no idea. I just, like I said, it just had to be something with God, something getting me prepared for some type of position, some type of platform that I'm gonna be on one day. That's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, that made me hate being in Mobile, from Mobile, for sure. Yes.
You know what? That last piece, when you mentioned like this must be happening because God must be preparing me for something greater than what it is that you were going through. Girl, that's the
Yeah.
reason right there, probably why you were you were bullied. It's crazy how we can feel people's energy, and when there's someone who doesn't exactly align with your energy, and they're kind of like polar opposites, they could mind their own business really, but they just, I don't know if it's jealousy, or I don't know what compels certain people to just project their insecurities on other people. I think that's what it boils down to. They saw something in you that they didn't see in themselves, and decided to just pounce and try to instill whatever level of power they thought they had on you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what
And
I
I hate
feel.
that people think that you had to have done something. You don't, people just target folks. You don't have to have done anything. And you can be the prettiest girl. And that gets you targeted right there. And I wasn't the
Hmm.
prettiest girl. I know some super pretty girls that they just target. Just like you just wasn't popular enough. And they just target you. I watch it.
Yeah.
But what am I supposed to do if if I'm being bullied too? Who gonna listen to me and be like, "Oh, y'all shouldn't do that"? Yeah, girl, it was, yeah. So hated it.
Okay, well, we got a sense of why you no longer want to be in Alabama, I feel. So, also, fun fact, Jamie Grace Taylor,
Yeah, girl.
she attended Grambling. Was it Grambling?
Grambling State
Yeah.
University.
And that's in Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Yeah,
Grambling,
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Uh-huh.
Grambling is in Grambling, Louisiana. We
Oh,
at the top of the
Grambling.
boot. We're close
Gotcha.
to Texas.
Oh, see, did not know that. Was that your first experience of leaving the state of Alabama? No, or like for
Well,
good,
yeah,
like you moving?
yes.
Okay.
Well, so like I went to community college, and my community college had dorms, and it was 45 minutes away from home. It was in a different city, but it was in Alabama. So that was my first experience, like moving away from home. But like I'll still go home and wash clothes.
Hmm.
But like, right, why are you driving 45 minutes to go home? But Grambling, yes. And my mom was so happy. She was like, "You need to get away."
So,
Hmm.
you mentioned your best friend was pretty happy that you did not have the same experience from grade school that you had in college.
Oh yeah, college was totally different. I still like when you're in certain situations. Like I was in band. Like I had girls in band who didn't like me and stuff, but that wasn't my whole experience. That didn't sum up my experience. And my mom made a great point. She was like, "You be going through stuff now," but she was like, "When you get older and you thinking back, you won't have nothing but good memories. You won't think about the bad." And I don't. I feel like when the enemy trying to attack, he'll put in seeds, plant seeds. Like, you remember when this happened, and you be like, "Man, whatever, dog." Okay, yeah, I remember when that happened. I can acknowledge, and I be like, "Okay, and it happened." Your mind is a muscle too. So if you train it to just divert, like acknowledge, still acknowledge. Don't just divert without acknowledging, but still acknowledge it, and then be like, okay, whatever, and move on. Your brain will be like, okay, let me not focus on those things. You only focus on what you give energy to.
Okay. Yes, Gems. Yes. Yes. Okay, I love it. I love it. So, how were you able to build community while you were there?
Well, band. And then I went to SGA, Student Government Association. That's something I always like. I always like to be a part of stuff. And because my grandma, I watched her. She was in this group called the Lions Club. They're everywhere in every city,
Yeah.
every state. Yeah, she was in that. And I used to watch how she went to Thailand and she would go to Canada. She started from Alabama, picked her friends up, and they rode all the way and road tripped all the way to Canada. Like I'm looking at her like I want that. And so that made me want to join things like that in school because my grandma just had this such a huge impact on my life. And so I joined SGA, and that's when I started. I mean, I've always liked to be called Jamie Grace because that is my whole first name. But that's when I remember I introduced myself. I was like, "Hi, my name is Jamie Grace Taylor, and I'm from Mobile, Alabama." And everybody started laughing. I'm like, is the joke with us in the room? What are we talking about? Why is everybody laughing? And everybody was laughing because I sounded so country when I had said it. And so that is when I started introducing my name like that. That's where it started. Yeah. So I built community by joining SGA, being a
Yeah.
band, and then I joined the STEM community, and I ended up getting book scholarships. So I had STEM community, and then they were like, "Oh, do you want to be an ambassador?" I joined the ambassadors. Anything I could join and be a part of, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it every single time. Like, I joined the Run Club here in Austin. Just anything that I can do and be a part of, I'm gonna do it. Mm-hmm.
Period. Because that's how
So
we
yeah,
build our tribe.
right. That's how I met you.
Yeah, we met at We Outside ATX.
Yes, and I think that might have been like their third or fourth time meeting. It was very new.
Yeah, yeah, and quickly grew into a really huge run club here in Austin. So I don't want to hear no one else who don't live in Austin tell me that there aren't black people here, because that group has on
It's-
Instagram 10,000 followers as of maybe, oh, what's today's date? October 4th, 2024.
I know I looked. I was like, wow. Yeah, I stopped saying that too. But I will say the dating scene is trash. But yeah, there are black people here.
Well, you have more experience in that regard than me. So tell me exactly how dating has been for you in Austin. I want to know.
Find that a lot of black men here are used to dating that are from here, or even if they're not from here, they're used to dating Latinos and Caucasian women, and they're not used to dating black women, and they project stereotypes or they don't understand you, and it's like, well, how do you, black man, not understand me, black woman? You were raised by a black woman.
I was
You
about
were
to say
raised by
that.
a black man. Most of the guys I've dated came from two parent households. So you were raised by black family, and you sit up here and you tell me you don't know what it's like to experience me. You don't understand me, my quirkiness, my slang, my colloquialisms confuse you. You don't know if I'm telling a joke or not. Oh, okay. That's what I ran into, like that particular problem. And then besides, men just don't not really want relationships because they feel like they have so much access. And yeah, you got a lot of access to a lot of people that you can sleep with, but you do not have access to a lot of people that you can connect with and build with. And that's the thing. So yeah, I did Tinder, I did Hinge, and I deleted both of them. I deactivated my account. I have not been back on since June. Tinder I've been off for a year, but Hinge I haven't been on since June because I feel like it's just gonna have to happen organically. It's gonna have to be, oh, my friend, this is my friend, or it's gonna have to be at the run club, something like that. But I don't like dating like that. It's a numbers game. You gotta say the right things, and I'm not a puppet. I'm not performing. Either you like me or you don't. Yeah. So that's been my experience.
You know what's crazy? How we live 5 minutes down the street from each other and it's dark outside my window and it's clear as day behind. Ah, girl. Oh, I can't open the, like, but you see.
I can
It's
see it's
dark.
dark over there. Yeah.
That is amazing.
God, man, they be saying he not real, but yo, if you think about everything, everything is organized in a system. You have organisms. You have organs. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. I just be thinking about that.
You lived in Louisiana, and then you were also in Wyoming, New York, and now Austin. I don't know.
And
w-
Atlanta. For
and okay, and Georgia. So like I don't know which order that's in, but did that have anything to do with your career as a travel nurse, or did you move to those locations for different reasons?
I moved to those locations because of travel nursing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I had been so Alabama to Louisiana was college. And then I worked in Louisiana for a little bit as a teacher. Hated it. Then I actually like teaching, but I rather teach collegiate. I want to teach people who want to be there and not people who are forced to be there. Um, but in a minute, we not gonna even have people to go to college because everybody. Never mind. Let me get off that. Let me step off my soapbox. So, um, I went to college in Louisiana, worked in Louisiana, moved back home. I had applied to 242 jobs. I was going to drive in my little car to Ohio, driving to Fort Lauderdale for interviews for because my first degree is in biology. Just driving for lab jobs or marine biology jobs. I wasn't getting any of them. So then I ended up. My mom pulled some strings and got me a job working at the hospital in the lab. I ended up getting fired from that. And I was upset. I couldn't understand. I was crying. But had I not got fired from that job and I had to start talking to people while I was working there, I wouldn't have started. I had took a class for phlebotomy. Then I ended up becoming a phlebotomist. And I was going to different nursing homes and I in the middle of the night drawing blood. And this guy was like, "You should go to Reed State and become a nurse. Why are you not doing it?" And I'm like, "Okay, I'll do that." Did that and became a nurse and started travel nursing. And then I went from different parts of Alabama to Wyoming to Atlanta and then to Texas, then to New York, back to Texas, then to New York again, and now I'm back in Texas. And I was so upset from being fired from that job, so upset from quitting being a teacher. But had I not done any of those things, I would not have been a nurse. I would not have been traveling anything. So everything works the way it's supposed to. So you when you get setbacks when doors close, it's not because you didn't deserve it. It just wasn't designed for you. And you can't force a circle into a square. You just can't. So I'm glad. So yeah, that's what I did. I went to all of those states that you mentioned through travel nursing.
Um, how long were you in how long were you in each state?
Wyoming, I was there for 6 months
Okay.
because I was making $3,000 a week. Oh, yeah, COVID, baby. That money was great, but the work was grueling, very hard. I didn't have a car up there, so I rode my bike everywhere. I walked. That's when I really started losing weight. That was at that point in time, the smallest I had ever gotten to was 190, 250. Trust me. So I did that Wyoming, then I did Atlanta for 3.5 months, and then I was supposed to go to Kansas. I was not supposed to come to Texas, but my Kansas job canceled on me the day before I was supposed to go. So then I went to Texas, and I did Texas for 7 weeks. This was only supposed to be a 7 week contract in Austin. I was never supposed to stay. And matter of fact, I thought I was supposed to be in San Antonio. I didn't think I was supposed to be in Austin, but they changed locations. And so after Texas, I went to New York for 7 weeks. And originally, I was just going to just keep travel nursing. But one of my friends was like, oh, come look at apartments with me. And I was like, sure. And they were showing us number one bedrooms. I'm not thinking of it. I was like, well, Austin seems cool. I might come stay here, just find me another travel assignment. And then they showed us a two-bedroom. And that's how I ended up being here. They was like, she was like, Jamie, I think we should consider this. And I was like, okay. They showed us the model apartment of our apartment, and the rest is history. So that's how I ended up here.
Yeah. And you've been here now for a year and a half,
Mhm.
or some, give or take, year and a half. And what would you say is your biggest takeaway from being here? Because we all know that Austin is different from Mobile, Alabama. It is. It's different from Mobile. It's definitely different from Grambling, Louisiana.
Oh, yeah.
And I, you being in Atlanta, I lived in Atlanta. I definitely know it's not
Oh,
the
yeah.
same.
Atlanta's the black mecca. My biggest takeaway is that I realized that I appreciated nature a whole lot more. I realized that once I moved to, I had lived in Florence, Alabama for like 6 or 7 weeks. I realized I liked it then, but here solidified that for me. Like, I'm a nature girl. Like, and Austin has good hiking, biking, just running trails, like, and so many sightseeing things. Like, there are areas that you can go to in Austin, like, they might not be, it's not might be the city of Austin, but it's like right on the outskirts. Maybe I think it's like 20 minutes away from my house, where you can go to this cliff, and it's called the Oasis, and it looks like you're in Mexico somewhere. It's beautiful. And I appreciate it. I appreciate what God gave us. Sometimes you just gotta appreciate the moment and the scenery and the surroundings, and seeing what God has created is the best time. So I that's what I realized I loved about Austin. I loved Barton Creek and going and walking the lakes and stuff like that, and just watching how this is a city. This isn't just a um busy hustle and bustle city. This is a city where people care about their health, and you're gonna find restaurants that have keto options, and the options have the calories out on the side. You got that. You got that in Atlanta too, but you got to go to certain areas. It's not everywhere, but in Austin it's everywhere. So my biggest takeaway from Austin, that it's beautiful sightseeing, and it's very healthy, very active, very up and coming. Yeah, compared to the other cities I've been to.
Side note, because I know you were talking about photography and cinematography. I think the Oasis has something set up to where they do like a contest for the person who takes the best picture of that area.
Yeah.
It's just something I stumbled upon. If I find a link, I'll send it to you. But you take great pictures, and I
Thank you.
cannot wait um, to share my birthday pictures.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to post like every day, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna hold on to it and be patient and wait until my birthday, October 29th. So, um, oh, and then this episode, I mean, people gonna see it by then, like, because this episode is probably not gonna be available until maybe December, January, to be honest. But yeah, um, yeah, you take good pictures, so I'm
Thank you,
sure that you
Gabby.
blow that little competition out the water.
I hope so. Yes, I would love to. Find it for me.
Yeah, well, okay. So since we are talking about health and I've known you long enough, you've been very vocal about your health journey, and how you lost weight and how you're being active and being mindful about what you eat and how you consume it, when you consume it, all of that great stuff. When exactly did your health journey begin?
I know it was 2021. I remember it was when I first started my first job. So November of 2021.
And where were you when that
I was
happened?
in Mobile, Alabama. I just passed my nursing exam in October. And yeah, I passed my nursing exam in October. And I had got the job at the hospital that they hired me before passing my exam because I had a temporary license. You can work under your temporary license before you pass the exam, but if you fail the exam, you no longer can work under the temporary license. So when jobs hire you, they taking a chance.
Did not know that.
Uh-huh. So they took a chance on me. You never know, you might be having a nurse. This a brand new nursing student, well, brand new nurse, and they ain't even got their license.
Oop. Okay. All right.
Something to
So,
think about.
okay, girl. So we in Mobile, Alabama. We said I want to be the best version of myself that I can possibly be.
Hmm.
And I'm wondering, because you moved around a bit, how has relocating to different cities affected your weight loss journey?
Okay, so when I went to Wyoming, I lost a lot of weight because I was able to be more disciplined. I didn't have that many places to go. I didn't drive. I didn't have a car there. And when I did have a car there, it was like blizzard weather. Nobody was going nowhere then. So,
Wyoming, right? What you're
yeah.
mentioning? Okay.
Yeah, so I lost a lot of weight there because I was walking, I was riding my bike to work, and I worked out in the morning. So that's why I'm not no stranger to waking up at 4 in the morning to go work out before a 6 o'clock shift. Uh, so excuse me. Um, Atlanta though, I gained weight because I was going out every weekend. I was drinking. I had dates and stuff, so I gained weight in Atlanta. Um, and I continued to gain weight up until even like when I moved to Texas for just my 7 week assignment. It was like I was just in a battle. I couldn't get past 190, 193. It was just hard. But then I went to New York and I started losing the weight again. And I'm like, okay. I was able to lose the weight, get down to 180, keep it off. And that was the smallest I had got at that point. And I'm like, okay, this is good. But then with being in Austin, and Austin is one of the most expensive cities in the state of Texas, and I bit off more than I could chew financially. Um, I didn't realize when I had took classes is that I wasn't a Texas resident, so 2 classes for me was $3,000. And I was paying for it out of pocket. I had a payment plan. It wasn't like, oh, you can pay $50 here, $30 there. No, they want $1,000 at this point, $1,000 at this point, and $1,000 at this point. And I had to come up with it. So I was working 2 jobs and going to class for 2 classes. And I was losing weight, but I wasn't losing weight because I was trying to. I didn't even work out all of last year. From September to May, I didn't work out. I started back working out in May. And people were like, well, how did you start running? I just started walking first. I started walking. Um, and then I started running. And then that's when I ran across We Outside Run Club. And I was like, oh, this is so on trend for me. Because I used to be looking like, man, I was looking at Dallas and Houston. And I'm like, we ain't never going to get nothing like this here because we ain't got no black people here. And then we did. And so that kept me motivated. Like, okay, I can go every weekend. And then I went back to New York for the summer camp and I woke up early in the morning and I ran every day up there. And so at that point, I realized I switched from keto to low calorie, and that changed my life. Best decision. So moving definitely did impact my weight loss. It was just circumstantial, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Also, what encouraged you to even pursue the weight loss journey?
Oh, I couldn't walk up a flight of stairs without being out of breath. I noticed that the dating pool was different for me. um I wasn't happy. I couldn't go into Forever 21 anymore and pick out a real cute outfit because I couldn't fit it. And then the plus size clothes that they did have, it wasn't cute. I didn't want to wear that. Excuse me. Plus, I was in denial. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm not that big." I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I was very much so in denial, and I would feel uncomfortable because I was wearing clothes that were too small for me. Because I didn't recognize that I had gotten that big. And that made me feel even bigger because I was wearing clothes that were not fitting. Um, so yeah, that's what initially I was like, okay, I said once I became a nurse and I had the money to go to the gym, like have gas and stuff to go to the gym, and I went to this weight loss clinic and they gave me a diet to follow and they gave me appetite suppressants. So I was like, okay, I got the money to do this. So that's what I did.
Okay. I'm proud of you, girl.
Thank you. But what kept me
Yeah.
going was God, because I tried to lose weight so many times. I could be on the phone with you right now, but like, girl, I want to lose weight so bad. I'm so sick of this. I'm starting today. And then I pull up and you be like, Jamie, yes, can I get a number 5 with extra fries? And you be like, I thought you was losing weight. I'm like, well, it ain't coming out. That was my logic, girl. I lived by that. I was like, well, I mean, it ain't nothing I can do about it today. I can start tomorrow.
Yo. Oh gosh. Okay. Uh it just reminded me of a video. Dang, I don't know where I got this from, but the video was just like, can I get a Big Mac? Or it was like, can I get a burger with no bread and no sauce and no cheese? Or was it the other way around? One of the two. But yeah, it's just that's the main reason why I was laughing, girl. Like, not at you or at the
Oh, yeah, no.
process, but yeah, I get it. Um, okay. And also, I'm wondering, like, did you? Because we're talking about like community a little bit. Did you find it difficult to establish a community, kind of similar to like, we found we outside ATX when you were in those other cities? Did you find it difficult to build a new support system that kind of like motivated you and kept you on track during your weight loss journey? Were you even looking into stuff like that, or were you just trying to figure it out on your own?
Oh, girl, I had a nutritionist.
Okay.
I was figuring it out on my own and stuff too. I didn't get a nutritionist until I moved to Wyoming because I was still doing. So they put the weight loss clinic put me on low carb. They told me only eat 21 grams of carbs in a day. I didn't realize that that was low carb, and now that I'm thinking about that, I'm scared. Like I'm like what? Now I'm eating 91 grams of carbs in a day. If you told me that 3 years ago, I'd have slapped you. I'd be like, what? I would never eat that. But carbs are not bad. You need it to fuel your body. I feel like it might be good to do low carb keto to initially drop weight, but it is not sustainable. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but it's not. And I used to be like, couldn't understand why people would say that. But like how I tell you, I was gaining weight in Atlanta and stuff like that. If I ever ate outside of my diet, you would gain that weight back like because you're no longer in ketosis. Keto is being in ketosis. It's telling your body to like, hey, she's not giving us enough carbs, so let's eat her stored fat. So if you eat higher carb food, it's like, oh, we ain't gotta eat her stored fat no more. Let's eat this fat right here and then leave the stored fat. And that's how you gain weight. And so I lost where I was going with that. Girl, I'm burning up. I'm tipsy.
I didn't know that about keto. I didn't
Yeah,
know that it was just burning stored fat. Because that's
right.
like no calories, right? Like keto.
Yeah, you don't focus on calories at all. And that's
Okay. Oh,
what my nutritionist was trying to tell me. She was like, you're, because I was like, why am I plateauing at 190? Like, I know I can be smaller than this. I know why 190 is not my end all. And she was just like, well, eating, eating low carb is eating more meat, eating more cheese and stuff like that. I mean, you eat vegetables too, but meat is super high in calories. That's why they show you that plate where they have a handful of meat, a big portion of vegetables, and then like even your carbohydrates are bigger than the meat because meat is very high in calorie. So if I'm eating almost 1,000 in calories in every meal, I'm probably averaging 2,000, 3,000 calories, but I'm eating low carb. So it's not, you still eating too many calories in your day, but since you eating low carb, you in that deficit for that. And that's why you gain the weight, because it's like, well, you already eating a whole bunch of calories and stuff, so let's just retain it. Because we're eating all your stored fat, we need to retain some of this. That's what your body's trying to do. So that's why ketosis isn't good long term.
and we were talking about, or I asked, did you find it difficult to build a support system in each place that you lived in
Yeah,
that kind of kept you on track with your weight loss journey?
I didn't have a support. I mean, Wyoming, yes and no. That was the most like I had a lot of friends in Wyoming from the nursing home that I worked at. Uh, Shout out to them.
Yay, yay.
They kept me sane, huh?
I say yay, yay.
Not proud family. Not yet. Yeah, I'm screaming. Shout out to them. They were cool. I don't know what it is about me and Latinos on a job, but baby, them be my best friends. Um,
Girl, I was just thinking to myself, I met like a few Latinas. I don't even know how they want to be referred or if they want to be
right. That's why
referred
I
as
don't even know if I'm saying
Latinas.
the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they have been so great to me here.
Same.
So great. Not that they haven't been great, anywhere else that I go. They have. But it's like the connection, it reminds me a lot of just being with my family a lot of times.
Right.
Yeah.
Last year, I was for Thanksgiving and Christmas. I wasn't able to go home, and I went to my friend's place, and she was Latino, and her family they welcomed me in. They be like, "Ah, Jimmy Grace." I be like, "What's up?" They already asked me, "Was I coming back this year?" And I probably am because I don't think I'm gonna be able to go home
For Christmas, you mean?
or
Or Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving. I don't know if I because I told you I was thinking about going to a different job, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's understandable. Do you think you would have been able to find decent opportunities in the space that you're in with healthcare? You think you would have been able to find that in Alabama if you would have stayed there versus like you being here?
What like found as far as like like what are you saying?
Like nursing opportunities, no?
No, they don't have as many. I mean, maybe if I move to Birmingham or Huntsville, yes, but they still don't. The pay isn't the same, but it also kind of levels out because the cost of living. Yeah, but no, they don't have the same. Actually, I'll say this: Alabama, since they are smaller, they let LVNs do a lot more than other states would because they need you. They don't have that many RNs. People can't afford. Excuse me. People can't afford to go to be an RN, so a lot of people stop at LVN. So we have way more autonomy. We can work in labor and delivery and stuff like that. But in bigger cities where there are more RNs and people tend to relocate, they don't need LVNs that much. And like my biggest problem, what I was realizing here in the hospital setting, if you weren't contract, they were paying LVNs like $23 an hour. No, no way. The hell I'm gonna do with that? I make 37 now. I'm well at the nursing home, and then $31 an hour at the school. Um, I can't go below 30. I told them in LA that's ridiculous. I said I made $23 an hour my as a whole like a 1 year of being a nurse, and you gonna give me 23? No. Talk about Will, you need at least 8 years of experience to get 30.
Who said that and where?
St. David said I needed at least 8 years of experience to make $30 an hour.
Where's that located?
St. David's is everywhere in Austin.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah, there's a whole bunch. You got St. David's North, St. David's South, St. David's Round Rock. Yeah.
okay. Well, they have some nerve to want to provide that type of salary to somebody because
Oh,
our
they're not
is
23.
rough.
They're like 29 from my experience. But they were saying that you needed at least to, because I asked for a range between 30 and 35, and they were like, you need at least 8 years. But the other hospital that said to me that it was $23 an hour, I don't know what they're more local. Like they're not a big conglomerate. They're super local. So it makes sense why they're not paying that well.
Does Texas feel southern to you?
No,
Do you get okay? I thought I was the only one who felt that
no,
way.
I tell them that all the time. Y'all not from the South for too commercial. They be like, well, there's other parts of Texas. No, everything's bigger in Texas.
But everything's
The
not southern.
It's not Southern. They don't even have Southern hospitality. People speak to each other where I'm from. Oh, hello. Good morning. How are you? Let me hold the door for you. I don't get that here in Austin. People walk right past you, mean muggy, everything. But also, Austin is not made up of people who are from here. It's made up of a lot of different people who have relocated here. So that's why you missing that Southern hospitality from here. But no, Texas is not the South to me.
I would say I feel more southern hospitality living in Austin, and then I was in Houston for 5, maybe 6 years. 5, yeah. I didn't really feel it in Houston. Not like
Mm,
that. I feel it a little bit more here. People are kinder here.
wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, I don't think that they're unfriendly, but I also, since I worked 2 jobs and was in school, I this is for the first time I've ever been out more. So I before this time period, I didn't have a life, so I didn't know what it would be like. So
Okay.
I'm just experiencing it. To me,
Yeah. Is there anything about Austin that you don't like other than the dating scene?
I-35.
I avoid that like the plague, or at least, I mean, I can't avoid it completely because my job is like right off that 35 feeder. Um, my commute, I take like 183 or I take Mopac that gets me to where I need to go, and I don't really need to hop. If I do hop on 35, I just drive down 2 or 3 exits and I'm at work.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I hate 35. That's the only thing about Austin I do not like.
Yeah.
Everything else I love. Oh, and apartment prices sky high.
Here in Austin.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
houses too. This is very expensive here. I don't like that. But everywhere is getting like this, so it's not just Austin. But Houston is cheaper for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely cheaper. I had a 1 bed, 1 bath. Actually, okay, first place I lived in, it was 2 beds, 2 baths, 875. And then the place that I lived in before I moved here, it was 1 bed, 1 bath for 775. And I came here, I'm like, dang, like I gotta pay twice as much. But I'm not gonna complain because I'm actually getting paid way more. Yeah, I'm getting paid way more, and I don't have to worry about uh my stuff getting robbed. I
And
don't
that's
have to
important.
I don't have to worry about ordering something on Amazon and not being home right away to get it from the door and being afraid that it's gonna get taken. I mean, I guess that's the price of being in the area where everything is like low.
Convenient
Yeah.
or the price. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's like you gotta pick and choose your battles. And I mean, Austin's not, you know, it's not perfect. I'm
I
sure
think we
people get
stay
up
in good
here.
areas, but I know a guy that I went on a date with. He hadn't even been here like a month, and he got his car broken into. They smashed his windows out, but he lived downtown. Yeah,
Oh, that's why I don't live downtown.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
we live in different areas.
Yeah, I would
That ain't going
avoid
on out here.
downtown.
I'm always gonna stay on the outskirts.
Girl, this as much as I would like to be closer to downtown a little bit, and I think about, oh my gosh, homeless people everywhere are different. They're not the same. But here, there were 2 occasions where someone asked me for money,
Hmm.
and I told them I didn't have it, and they cussed me clean out. They cussed me out. But the homeless people, on the north side, they are funny. Like they don't even be asking for money half the time. There's this one guy on Mopac. I've seen him maybe 2 or 3 times, and his sign would say, "Looking for a wealthy older woman who needs a handyman," and it has a place for me to stay.
You probably he probably got picked up. That why you ain't seen him no more.
You know what? It's a good point.
Or his parents or somebody seen him out there. Like, come on, like you don't have to do this.
Yeah. He an older guy though. Like this man, he gotta be in his 40s or his 50s. Yeah, girl. But yeah, when I think about Houston being cheaper, I miss the rent, but I don't miss everything else that came along with being in an area where the rent is cheaper, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
should move to Katy. You was living in Katy?
yeah, I lived off of Barker Cypress for a bit. That's close to Katy. Yeah. Still had the Houston address, but it's kind of like where I am now in Austin. If I drive like a block, I'm in
Yeah,
Katy.
you're right.
Yeah. It was nice when I was there. I heard it's leaning now towards a different path. It's becoming more like Houston, a little more edgy, a little more rah rah. I know someone who is literally on her way out now. She thought, she moved away from downtown Houston, um, and live in Katy. She could be away from all of that energy, but her car got jacked. Well, not jacked, but her car got broken into. Actually, a bunch of cars in her area got broken into. And I know her, she kind of bougie. So I know she wasn't living in an area that's just like what in the world, you know?
Right.
So, but she bougie in a good way. I mean, when I mean bougie, I mean like she got standards.
Yeah,
That's like she,
expectations, and you
yeah,
should. My roommate was like that. She had expectations. She knew exactly what she wanted when she was looking for an apartment. She wanted high, tall ceilings, long windows with sunlight can come through. And her non-negotiable was a parking garage. She did not play. She was
yeah.
like, I am not walking upstairs to an apartment ever again. So yeah. She lived in Houston too for like 2 or 3 years, and everybody who lived in Houston said the same thing. They just had to leave. That's crazy.
It was fun though. It's a fun place to be. You will never be. I don't know. I guess it depends on like what your definition of fun is. You know,
That too.
when I first lived there, I had fun, and then after a while, I was like, okay, what's next? I can't, I can't go to camp all the time. Camp is like a bar slash
Yeah, I
like,
know
yeah,
about camp.
yeah.
I've
I
been
was
to
like,
camp.
I can't go to camp every week. I can't go to address every week. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, address got good wings. No, is the address or that other place? I'm trying to think. I think it's address. I can't think of all the places out there.
They got these really good Philly cheesesteak egg rolls. I think that's what it was at
Mm.
address. The bomb. Really good. That's probably the only reason I would go back. And I will mess my stomach up for that because I'm lactose intolerant. Yeah, girl. Okay. But yeah, no, back to what we were talking about Austin being expensive. I don't really like that piece neither. And I wish that everyone can be at the point where, they can afford to live in Austin and not have to be living paycheck to paycheck or, just having to work like multiple jobs. Even when I was in Houston, I had that experience of like, dang, like I need multiple jobs to sustain and it sucked and I wanted out. And so it's another reason why I was like, I gotta bounce because y'all not paying people right here.
No, Houston does not pay good. They don't. They actually don't pay good.
Yeah. But you're here in Austin, you're doing your thing, and I know right now you're doing like you work at two places, like you kind of explained it already. But I mean, the healthcare scene here is pretty good, right? Like you can get to the point where
Nurses
with
always have a job.
yeah,
They
like
will.
you'll always have a job
It's just
security.
pay. As far as me being an LVN and not an RN.
Gotcha. So what's the next step, girl? What we doing?
If I get this job on Monday in Jesus' name, and I get the tuition reimbursement and they actually paying good, then yes, I'm going to go back to school with the tuition reimbursement. And my grandma, she's supposed to be paying for me to go to school, but I'd rather just take that money and just go pay an apartment. And so I don't have to. I would still work. It just wouldn't have to be as often because my room and board basically would be paid for. Just
Oh,
pay it up for. I think like if I calculated it, I remember calculating 12 months for a $15,000. I mean $1,500 rent. That would be 15,000 or like 18,000, something like that. And
yeah.
if all my rent is paid for an entire year, and all I gotta do is focus on school and maybe work a few here and there just to make sure I got groceries and stuff, I'm good to go.
Girl, well, I know when when this drop, you're gonna have some internet cousins who gonna want to check up on you. So
Oh
Internet
yeah.
cousins, we gonna keep you in the loop once Jamie Grace Taylor, because you gotta say it like Weezy F baby.
But please say the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, once you figure out more, like I'll let y'all know. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And so I think that God kind of defined he divinely placed you here too, because I don't know if you were focusing on photography like you are now, like in the other cities that you lived in, but that spirit of creativity is here in Austin, and I feel like it's going to give you the opportunity to even have that additional source of income.
Yes,
You
I
know,
would
if you
love
are,
that.
yeah, so if you are going to be like doing multiple things to make money, at least one of those sources is coming from something that you've always wanted to do.
Yes.
So, internet cousins, we going to keep you in the loop about that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think this is one of the best cities you can be in for that.
I do too. That's why I don't want to leave. Because at first my parents were like, you should just come home, and I'm like, I'm making connections. I can't come home.
That's right. And you made a connection with me. And actually, someone told me about you doing photography. How did I know you from Run Club? And I'm just casually out doing something. Like I went to a black girl think tank meetup. It had
Hmm.
nothing to do with Run Club.
Yeah.
And someone I know through there, and I don't think she's ever been to a We Outside like event. She's never
Mhm.
been. She told me about you. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I think
That's
that's
how word of mouth works.
yeah. So just keep doing your thing, girl.
Yes,
And
thank you.
then that is gonna grow to the point where nursing, you could probably just take that money and have that check go straight to an investment account and live off of you doing the creative side of what you like to do. Make that money off of that.
Girl, tune in. I'm trying to win $25,000. It's this challenge where it's like for 6 weeks. You know how they be doing those little challenges where you work out, and the person who has the most progress, they give money to. And I'm like, at first I was like, oh, it's $25 just to do it for 6 weeks. I was like, I don't want to spend $25 on that. I'd rather have me a drink and a meal. But I was like, no, if you can win $25,000 first place, and then they're giving $5,000 to four people for second place, and then $1,000 to people for third place, even if I place, excuse me, that would bless me substantially. But
Girl,
I'm going for the 25.
we going running tomorrow, first thing. You feel me? $25,000. Let me know how I can support you on that.
Girl, when I say I want to go out to eat, say step away from the plate.
Okay, yeah, I got you. I got you.
I
Okay.
don't even go out to eat like that, but yeah, girl, no, just be like, no alcohol. I don't be drinking like that anyway, but yeah, no alcohol, nothing. Like this is gonna be real deal, Holyfield.
Period. 25
Period.
grand on the way. Run,
25,
run her money
and
on
they gonna
God.
tax it.
It's okay. It's gonna be a lot anyways. Good lump sum. Okay. Very last question.
Hmm.
And I ask everybody this question. I want you to imagine yourself the person that you were when you were living in Mobile, Alabama. Now, yeah, think about that version of you, right? So now that you relocated, what advice would you provide to the version of yourself that was in the city that you originally relocated from?
Stay the course. Everything happens for a reason. My fitness journey brought me closer to God, so just Just keep going. Don't don't let men rule what you do. Don't let oh yeah, just because girl, if we want to talk about this, but we gonna talk about this another time. I kind of moved here because it was a guy that I really liked. That kind of really motivated me to want to move. And and it didn't work. And I'm blessed that it did not work. Me and him are still really good friends. Yeah. But I would tell myself, run the course, be patient. Don't let men run your decisions. You are more than what men think. You are more than your body, because once we leave this earth, my body stays here, but my spirit ascends. So, and love yourself at every moment. Enjoy the moment, because I know 2 years where 2 or 3 years where I was unhappy and wasn't enjoying the moment because I kept like, oh, I need to get here, I need to get here, I need to get here. And once you get to those points, you're still not happy. And then you look back like, I didn't enjoy that. So I would tell my younger self to just enjoy the moment. Don't let men rule your world, and run the course.
Girl, you don't want to. How dare you be on this podcast and not tell us that your me and your internet cousins that you part of the reason why you moved to Austin was because of a
Amen.
guy. I don't know if you want to unpack that. It totally up to you.
Well, I
like,
mean, long story short,
like,
I thought that was my husband, child. I liked him down to the ground. But I don't date like that no more. Everybody's not your husband. Just it was. I mean, I just like we met on Hinge.
was
We
this
were
when you were like back and forth between like Austin and New York, or
yeah.
okay, gotcha.
So I went. I mean, I met him, and I think we had maybe 3 to 4 weeks to hang out before I left. Um, but he, I should have known better the moment that he became indecisive and was like, oh, I'm jaded from my last relationship. And I hate when it's just like, okay, well, when was your last relationship? A year ago. Now, I can't put a time on healing. But a year ago, like, really, sir? Like, be for real. So I really liked him because we were able to laugh. And I remember my ex boyfriend from college. I remember I was just telling my best friend, I was like, I wonder. He asked me, do I ever think about him? I was like, no. I think about the times. I think about the conversations, the true friendship that I had in him. And I always wonder if I would find that again. And I found that in him. And I thought that, okay, I found this again. This gotta be it. And it was not. And he be trying to talk to me still. I can tell he still like me, but I don't feel the same, and he knows that. You only got one time to burn me. One time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. So we good. You only got one time to show me who you are. So yeah, girl. I really liked him, but he got stuff like, and that's another thing. Like I was just saying, like about how God removes things from you. You can't put a circle into a square because he got things that he needs to work on. We all working on things and figuring things out, but the level of him working out and figuring things out isn't at the same level as me.
I was just thinking, I feel like that was probably a distraction because the things that you're working on now, trying to move up in your career, make more money, you want to go back to school, you want to focus on the creative side of Jamie Grace Taylor. And
Yeah,
if you are with someone who is not aligned with where you see yourself in life, it's going to just knock you off course.
right.
And you are in a prime location right now to do everything it is that you want to do.
I definitely am, girl. So am. That's why I'm just like I can't leave. So I know I'm gonna be in Austin at least another 2 to 3 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
Me and your internet cousins.
Yeah, y'all are welcome to join in.
Yeah. So thank you so much for joining this episode
Yes, thanks for
today. I
having
appreciate
me.
you, girl. Yeah.
Yes,
And I need to be saying this more, but tune in every single Wednesday for more new episodes of the Relocate Podcast.
yes.
Once again, this is Kerristen, and I am signing out.